Okay, friends, and here we are, another list. This is a user submitted list. Um, I'm looking forward to going over it, and let's see what we got here. My initial thoughts, it's a pretty well made list. It seems kind of balanced too. The only thing I feel that it kind of lacks is maybe um, like a really tough, durable unit, like a high toughness, like a Wraith Lord, or even your Avatar. Everybody runs an Avatar, but I also do really enjoy lists that don't even run an Avatar as well. But how can we make up that durability? I mean, Falcons do to some degree. So we have the Falcons. Um, but yeah, everything's kind of, especially our infantry, it's so paper thin. It gets caught up in the wrong situation, it's dead. There's usually no turning back. Um, we do got Flagon and the Gem though, which is kind of like its own hidden durability. Like it's a second life for both these characters, and almost in a sense you could count it as, your Wayleaper sitting there at 4 wounds, but he really has 8. I mean, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna roll that 2 up on your Gem, and when he comes back he's out of combat too. So usually he just kind of lives. That's kind of the usual scenario he dies. The Wayleaper dies is in melee. So the gems, it's good, but also I've had times where it's like, why am I spending the points on it? So I kind of came up with an alternative means for myself. Super interesting. And what I like to do is I like to run this Wayleaper with Manda Blasters, Starglaive, Death Spinner, and Fate's Messenger. So it makes it so this Wayleaper, at any given time, you need 3 dev wounds on something. This Wayleaper can get there and provide that. So I like to use that Wayleaper in that sort of sense to maybe finish off a large target or a pesky character. And the Wayleaper also travels well with your Warp Spiders. Um, I know everybody likes the Howling Banshee Mask, fights first. The way I look at it, I'm always charging with the Wayleaper. That's the goal. You don't want your Wayleaper charged, right? If it gets charged, it probably dies. So we want to charge it on our terms, and when we charge, the Banshee Mask doesn't really do much unless we're charging a fights first unit as well. And we can just avoid that entirely, really, on any of our charges. So, Manda Blasters, Fate's Messenger will turn our Starglaive melee into a 6. That's kind of where we want to save it on the wound roll to get Dev Wound 2 here from the Manda Blasters. Um, and then our Death Spinner is just kind of D6 shots. Maybe we'll get another 1 or 2 in there. We also have Fate Dice. We can kind of manipulate things to get a few more devs if we need to in a pinch. So it's an option I've been kind of playing with. Fate's Messenger is cheaper than the Gem, but sometimes, sometimes you just kind of need that Fate's Messenger on a different unit. In this case, D's running on the Farseer Skyrunner, which I think is cool because I assume the Farseer is also rolling with a 6-packs of Wind Riders. So Fate's Messenger there is neat. I always think it's a neat trick on the Skyrunner because you can do some cheeky things like you go to your Eldritch Storm, right? Say you need to get that D3 damage in. Like this it's like an extra 24-inch range attack that helps slap with these Wind Riders at the same time because you're shooting 24 inches with a Shrieking Cannon. So they're kind of like extra Shrieking Cannon shots off of the Farseer, but you get D6 blast with it, and it can turn into a decent amount of shots. I mean, say we just average our 3 shots, and maybe we get 1 with the blast. So we got 4 shots with the Storm. Um, we're probably guided here. So we're hitting on threes, re-rolling. We're probably going to make all of our hits, most likely. If not, we'll say we'll get 3 of them. Strength 6, just like the Shrieking Cannon, better AP than the Shrieking Cannon, and also D3 damage. So we could also Blade Storm this too. So say we Blade Storm the Wind Rider squad, right? The Farseer also gets it as well. And say we Fate's Messenger one of the Farseer's Eldritch Storm shots. Next thing you know, you have one of them that's AP4, you know, going straight to invul. So I think it's just like a cheeky way to get some extra damage, go like a little extra mile with your Farseer Skyrunner with the Wind Riders. So I really like that move a lot out of D, and I'd like to hear kind of your successes with that, with Fate's Messenger and the Skyrunner. Guardian Defenders, I think, is kind of stock meta these days. Like that hit that we took to our Fate dice, it really shows. And Guardian Defenders have kind of been making up for that for a lot of people. So these Guardian Defenders have definitely made up a lot, and their points went down as well, kind of make them a little more appealing. And we get our extra Bright Lance platform. I think just take the Bright Lance every single time. I mean, you have that. You need the anti-tank, and if you also have the catapults for anti-chaff. I mean, pretty much just take the Bright Lance every time. I guess the theme of this list, we got Flagon and the Fire Dragons, right? So I feel like we need more Fire Dragons. 2 5-packs is good. I assume they're in the Falcons here, which is cool. I've had a ton of success with the Scorpions in the Falcon in one 5-pack of Dragons with Flagon in the Falcon. So I go Scorpions and Karandras, and then Fire Dragons and Flagon, and generally in conjunction with each other, they make such a great pair. Um, if I look at a piece of the board and I need to deal with Terminators and heavier targets, okay, that's kind of where the Fire Dragon should go. Vehicles, big monsters. If I'm looking at like more of an infantry thing, if I'm maybe I want to go hunt a transport with the other Falcon and Scorpions. They're really good at that. Or sometimes I'll just take both Falcon boats with both of them and just go plug up the middle, or just go deal with the middle of whatever opponent has. And it's a lot of hate. It is a lot of hate. Usually they just nuke things. I'm sure anyone who's used the Fire Dragons in the Falcon, especially with Flagon, they just nuke things. It's wild. Um, Sometimes, every once in a while, though, you get that whiff and it feels bad. But another thing I want to say here is we're running Skyweavers in this list. So Skyweavers, they definitely, they're still such a fantastic unit of ours. So they kind of do 2 things that are really good for Pariah Nexus. Their points went up a little bit, but I think they're still worth it. They're probably still undercosted, honestly. So who cares? But anyways, they do 2 things for us. I like to run the Zephyr Glaive as well, and that's one of the things. They give us this random melee element. We got 8 attacks per unit here in melee. So they provide this like cool melee element for us, and at the same time, oh my goodness, the Skyweaver Haywire Cannon, another Devoon piece. So we have another Devoon piece, and it just absolutely eats vehicles. You have a vehicle problem, this will deal with it. Especially 2 squads. Oh my goodness. Competitively, though, running 2 squads is a little tough because some armies just don't even play with vehicles. And I found if you somehow get matched up with an army like that, your Skyweavers kind of feel a little more useless at that point. It's just hanging out and shooting the haywire cannon uh, at something that's not a vehicle. Like, it just usually doesn't feel good. It's only strength 3, so that one's a little tough. But overall, this list is balanced because it evens out this anti-tank with these wind riders and the shrieking cannons. So he's got 12 shrieking cannons ripping with lethals. You got your shroud runners. Um, I will say, with all these jet bikes, it kind of splits the list's identity somewhat. Um, you have all this mounted jet bikes, but that's a lot of cool, good speed. But the other half is transports and dragons. It's kind of same Han list to some degree. Maybe we should push it more in that direction. I do like the solitaire for the Falcon as well. That hits really hard. So you do get your melee element in the Falcon. But I think Karandras and the Scorpions are probably better overall than the Solitaire. I'm not saying the Solitaire is bad, but I'm saying just as options in Falcon, I think Karandras and the boys is better than Solitaire. Obviously more points, but dev wounds too. That's another thing that's really cool that I've been doing a lot, and this list kind of showcases it a little bit. Is we have a lot of dev wounds that we sprinkle throughout our armies. Um, this list has them with warp spiders and skyweavers, and if you change your Wayleaper, you have some there. Um, I like to run scorpions too, especially they're so much cheaper now. So when we're running scorpions, it's another piece that has dev wounds, and you'll find as you have them throughout your list, it's like, oh my goodness, I could kind of target anything I want with these to just clean up stuff. Whatever the bright lances and the laser beams, the fire dragons might not have finished off, you just go clean it up. Orb spiders are the janitor kings in this game. Probably the best unit in our book for Pariah Nexus. I would say hands down. Uh, they really go the mile. Shroud runners are great. Um, they turn on a lot of things in this list, but also don't at the same time. It kind of goes along with that split identity in the list. So they are great solo units anyways, which I think is fine. So like having the two squads is great here, and it gives you that scout move. You're kind of lacking scouts and infiltrates and stuff. Like those are your scout moves. Kind of give you that board presence early on. So overall, I think we got a decent list. I'm gonna make some changes. I already did your Wayleaper. Sorry. Solitaire, I'm not sure fits here. You do need the melee though. But at some points we could hack off. I'm gonna try to make it reasonable. We'll only add 3 units. Maybe take away 2 to 3, add 3. So that way, even if you don't own the models, it wouldn't be impossible to kind of check your list into that way. So I'm a same Han lover at heart. Dead of Night loves bikes. Okay, so I think maybe that's the direction we're gonna go. And we don't have to alter too much here. I think though we're gonna maybe take away a fire dragon just to kind of free up some space. And I like the Farseer. I think we need a warlock though. Maybe we triple this. So one squad we add is 6-pack of bikes. Maybe we just no. Let's add our warlocks. So that's one thing we add. One thing you have to get, warlock. Give the spear. So Farseer warlock in the bike squad's gnarly. I think to save some points too, maybe we get rid of this other 6-pack and we'll just make this a 9. So we'll just have a big boy bike squad ripping down, ignoring cover, not a care in the world. Okay, so we still got some points left. Yeah, we'll get rid of Solitaire. We're playing the same Han, so yeah, there we go. Alright, we got 250. Guardian Defenders, they're not same Han. We all know how I feel about Guardians, so they gotta go. So we added a Warlock. We didn't add Wind Riders, we just condensed them. We hacked a bunch of things out. Added a Warlock. Okay, so far so good. We only got one ad. That's only one thing we gotta get, which I bet he's got one anyways. Now, two more things. Well, we got a lot of points to play with. But I think we should add more tanks. Right? More laser beams. We do need to put something in the Falcon. Maybe we'll bring these fire dragons back. Yeah, bring the fire dragons back. How do we fit two prisms? Can we fit two prisms? Okay, we'll get rid of these fire dragons again. Then we'll have this Wayleaper. Yeah, he's done it. Alright, we're up 10. Oh no. Maybe we go down a Skyweaver. A Falcon. Put Skyweaver back. Yeah, we want our bikes. So we added two prisms and a Warlock. Alright, we might have to add a fourth thing. You got me this time. We just won't count the Warlock. So two fire prisms. I think maybe we just fill it in with a couple more attack units, like some swooping hawks. Makes our points awkward though. Okay, Skyweaver. Oh, we almost have it. We almost have it. We almost have it. We almost have it. 60. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do. Okay, we can get rid of my Wayleaper shenanigans. We'll just put the Phoenix gem back. Where? Oh, there's 2,000. Okay. Alright, so maybe we might have to get a little more than I anticipated. But not too much, you know. And we got one of the coolest units in our book is with Baharath and the 10-pack of Swooping Hawks. So we get a lot with these Swooping Hawks too. We get a lot of infantry shooting. Say our Wind Riders are already guided, we can use our guide on them instead. We get hit, they bring on a really cool target for Blade Storm. If you want, you could deep strike these bad boys, shoot something, kill it, and then just move them another 14 inches. Just fire and fade them, and then move them another 6 with their ability. So deep strike, shoot, move 20 inches. It's pretty nuts. You know, even just deep striking, moving to 6 for free alone. Makes it so these guys are really tough to kill the entire game, and they're just pecking damage the entire game. In the meantime, you can use your janitor spiders to kind of clean up what they've been shooting at, or you could use these the hawks themselves. They're a really good unit to actually support warp spiders. So warp spiders generally, you know, a lot of times want to go just tear up infantry. But sometimes they can't get it done, or they put themselves in like these weird sticky situations where warp spider sticky situations, they're alone, and they need the support, and the swooping hawks going up and down every turn. You know, if you wanted, coming back in deep strike every turn, they're there like always to support the warp spiders. So keep that in mind maybe when you're playing them in tandem. Um, the same thing with like your falcon even, and your fire dragons and flagon. The swooping hawks can just be another piece that just comes down and supports them. They're so good at being a supporting unit for anywhere on the battlefield usually, you know. So I think you'll have a lot of fun trying them out. I hope anybody tries them out because I know I've had a ton. I've had a ton of fun playing with them all of 10th edition, and I really think you would too. The opponent gets usually kind of furious. They're so cheeky, and actually Bahan Melee is pretty underrated. Like literally, the Fury of the Tempest slaps. The Fury of the Tempest is just shrieking cannon shots. Like, let's go. Um, but I had a good time going over this list. If you guys have any questions for me, like hit them up in the comments. I'm a little slow, but I will answer when I can, for sure. Um, it seems like maybe if you guys want to hit me up on Discord, you can. I'll leave my Discord name there. If we can, if you have any questions, talk to me. I am, I might sound scary, but I'm not. So please hit me up. I am here to help all Farseers and Autarchs. And until next time, thanks for stopping by, and let's kill stuff with swooping hawks. Have a good one. Eldar warrior stand tall, ancient ruins call.